So I know you're big into 2K. What modes do you jump into?
Right now, my favorite is actually going to the park and playing 3v3 and also Pro-Am. A little bit more Pro-Am now because 3v3 sometimes is like not as realistic as I think 5v5 is.
So the WNBA is in 2K20 for the first time. What'd you think about that in the game?
I thought it was amazing. You know, it's funny because I catch my dad like playing video games, playing me, which is amazing. But you know, I've always dreamed of.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Up next, for Denver, they've shown no fear so far this season. Now on the road against one of the toughest tests yet. You can bet they're salivating at the chance to cement their elite standing in this league. The NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome to this Thursday night in the NBA, right here on 2K Sports. Along with Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, Emmy-nominated writer-producer Bill Simmons. Again, you're in the seat, and again, we're so lucky to have you.
I can't believe Brent Barry's here. How'd you get him?
And told him that you were going to come in and a lot of sushi, and told him you were going to join us.
Wow. Four of the greats. I'm so delighted to be here.
And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting. Balloting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
You take a look at Barton. He's on the cusp of the top 10 in the Western Conference voting.
So still a long way away from being named a starter, but the fans aren't overlooking what he's been doing this season.
A great All-Star weekend it'll be. We'll keep you updated as we get closer. And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, Coach Mike Malone had this to say about his understated superstar, Nikola Jokic. Malone said he's truly beloved by all his teammates. No ego, a little bit goofy, doesn't take himself too seriously, and with his success, he's still the same kid. That's why everybody cares about him and respects him. Kevin?
The Nuggets lucky to have him. Thanks, David. Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. Jamal Murray is out there with Gary Harris. And it's Nikola Jokic. Then there's Paul Millsap. And it's Porter at small forward. And for Philadelphia, they've got Richardson. Tobias Harris is out there with Scott. Then it's Simmons. And it's Embiid in at the 5, roaming the paint. So Philadelphia will get the first possession.
Who's got Simmons?
Simmons against Murray.
Yo, watch him!
And it's Simmons penetrating. Yep, that one goes. Simmons got the opening bucket of the night here for Philadelphia.
And Simmons really using his insane athleticism on that drive. A remarkable penetrator who really carves up the defense.
Now here's Millsap. And the loss to the Knicks the other night, definitely not himself.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Denver shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
The first one falls.
Yeah, a former 5-star recruit. We know about the talent level with Porter, but he's also a mature, hardworking guy.
He's perfect from the line this time.
A big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. Don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
Pass to Richardson. From 11 feet away, and it's sent back by Jokic. Harris looking it over. Passes it to Millsap. Kicks to Murray. Here's Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Bill, you're a basketball historian. We know that. Do fans romanticize too much about the past?
I would say the other way. I think they don't appreciate it enough, especially like the millennials and Gen Z. You know you're out there. You're playing this game right now. They tend to think the league started when Kobe showed up and that the 90s and the 80s didn't happen. I sense a real resentment from the younger fans with the LeBron versus MJ thing because LeBron's their guy. They get to watch LeBron. They don't want to hear that MJ was better than him, so they make the case for LeBron and the way things are now.
But what about like the Oscar Robertsons, the Elgin Baylors, and we talked about, my goodness, you talk about some of these players. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the
fantastic
60s,
numbers.
70s, 80s.
Oh.
I think part of what hurts is people can go on YouTube, and when you watch some of the older stuff, nobody's playing defense.
Richardson the pass to Embiid. It's good.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
For Denver, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Murray outside. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Jokic. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Just have to stay down on any kind of pump fake. Once Jokic got him up in the air, he had him.
Bill was in Boston where you received your master's degree in journalism. What attracted you to this profession? Why journalism?
I couldn't do anything else, and I didn't like manual labor.
No, really?
No, that really was it. I was good at writing.
Like anybody in your family or anybody you
No,
idolize?
I was always a good writer, and I liked writing and sports.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, I'll do those 2 things
Did
together.
it in high school, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, started in high school. I had the big thing for me was in college. I had a column for the school newspaper, really from freshman year on, and around sophomore year, I felt like it started to get momentum, and that was the first time I thought, I wonder if I can get paid for this.
Right.
Which, as it turned out, no, until I was about 29.
Yeah. Now, here's Scott. High post, Embiid. He's against Jokic. Here's Harris. Offensive rebound, Embiid. Porter with a block.
And, as he learns the game at this level, he's going to block more shots. Porter has the length and the ability to move his feet.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throws of this one.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
That's good from Harris.
With the scoring ability that Tobias Harris has, he can look to be even more aggressive. All the skills to be a go-to guy.
We've seen a handful of players land the Supermax contract bill. By and large, how do you see those deals working out?
It's tough. Nobody's really been happy with it yet. It's so much money, and it's such a big part of somebody's salary cap, and you're just kind of handicapped with it. And we've seen John Wall was the worst case scenario of it, but the situation Charlotte was in with Kemba Walker, where he makes the All-NBA team, and now his Supermax is $240 million instead of $180. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And in a salary cap league, to pay $50 million a year from somebody is just nuts. It compromises the ceiling of the team. So the Bucks are going to be in this position with Giannis, where he's making $55 million a year and the cap's $120. How are you going to put a good team around?
You can't maneuver.
You can't. So I would put a wrinkle in there that I would make the Supermax, whatever, pay the player whatever the number is, but it only counts for like $32 million or something. Make it so that it's not
A
prohibitive.
percentage of the total cap.
Yeah, make his cap figure is 32, even if you're paying him 55, and then that way people could compete better.
How about that shot? Not exactly something drawn up by the coaching staff.
Bill, you wear so many hats, writing, producing, performing. You're running the Ringer, which is highly successful. What role satisfies you the most?
I would say working with young people and trying to help them get better. I think that's the coolest thing you can do, especially if you feel like you've done some good stuff and accomplished some things and realized some dreams. Like, the next thing to do is just to, can you help other people get to where they should go?
Well, a lot of this wasn't around when you and I were growing up. So
No.
what were your dreams?
My dream initially was just to write a sports column that people read.
In the
That's what
Globe.
I wanted forever, yeah. And then the most satisfying thing is just not knowing what's next, but taking chances and hoping things are going to be fun and work out. You have to have a good team around you, and you have to have like 6 or 7 awesome people that you completely trust who can help you do stuff, because it's impossible to do everything yourself, especially if you're trying to increase the scale of what you're doing. And I think that even works for an NBA organization. You know, it's not like one person running everything. I would say putting a good team around you is the most important thing.
And that one's good. Jokic.
Such an outstanding effort there for the big man to stay focused with his shot. Jokic, tremendous concentration.
Back to Richardson. There's a minute left to play in the first quarter. Burks for 3. Porter pulls it in. For Denver, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. For 3, Murray. It doesn't go for him. And it's Philadelphia the other way. To the wing right side. Here's Thibault. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Richardson against Murray. Harris outside. Pass to Jokic. And the rejection by Embiid. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. Porter pulls it in. Inside. And it's Jokic missing.
And he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Philadelphia ahead as they wrap up the first quarter on a 15-6 run. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick, turned star in the league, talks about what the game means to him.
Basketball, like passion, love. Like, that is the thing I play like when I know 4, 6, 7 years old. I don't know. Like basketball is always in my life. That like I think it's passion. I think it's passion.
In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And guys, what's your take so far on Philadelphia?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
It felt like they knew that there were openings in transition and just wanted to keep trying to feed that, get out quick.
So on the floor for Denver, they've got Nikola Jokic, Paul Millsap out there with Michael Porter. Then it's Gary Harris, and it's Murray in at the point. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Here's Burks. Porter pulls it in. Porter's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Bill, if you were just hired as a GM, which franchise would you model your approach after?
I really like what the Clippers did the last couple years when they realized they didn't have quite enough to win the title. And instead of just being beholden to being darn close but not quite, they actually blew it up and tried to figure out how to create cap space, find some young players,
and still stay competitive.
Build
so they kept the momentum of their franchise.
Yeah, they stumbled into a situation where they had a lot of flexibility no matter what. I think the Celtics before them did the same thing in the mid-2000s. They're just trying to find assets and figure it out on the fly. That's the approach I would use. I would never fully commit one way or the other to anything. The goal is to try to accumulate assets and figure out what you have. And I think the smartest teams do that.
Murray, no good. For Philadelphia, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Here's Milton, guarded by Harris. Milton the pass to O'Quinn. Ring shot on the way. Denver grabs the miss. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Philadelphia this year.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Well, if I had a calendar, I would have circled this one. But I love it when they get together. Last year, they split the two games between them, and I'll bet their battles are just as tightly contested this year.
You've been producing documentaries, going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories. We thought that was the inefficiency of, instead of these big, broad type of documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. You just don't know. You got to figure it out. Like we had Steve Nash his last Lakers season. He wanted to do a documentary about it. And then we spitballed it, and we decided it was actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time with the thing. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story clicks the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly is the coolest part about that.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first time out right here. One of the stories here, Nikola Jokic getting it done today.
And he's been taking it to the rack all game, and they haven't been able to contain him. They have to put up better fight on the inside.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Scotty's checked in for Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris comes in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Ben Simmons in for Alec Burks. And the foul on Will Barton. That is his first foul of the game. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. The pass to Harris. Fires from deep. Hits it from three-point range. Harris has got 5 points so far. And from everything we're hearing, Bill, the draft's one and done aspect may be coming to an end. Like it?
For me, the G League is the key to all this. I would like to see the guys come right out of high school and go into the G League and have an actual infrastructure that's attached to the real team.
And the G League is having an effect on the NBA. There are a lot of former guys from that league playing in the big league.
And the other thing is, like, sports rights are becoming more and more valuable with streaming services, and just the fact that you can watch a game anywhere you are. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it if you're in China. You can watch it if you're in Hawaii. And I think the G League should be a bigger thing. So if they can figure out a way to kind of steal college basketball's corner with some of this stuff, while also preparing these guys. The one and done, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand what anyone gains from going to college for 5 months and then pretend they're a college student.
And he knocks down the first one. Second free throw, no good.
He was able to tie it up, but he has to be disappointed that he could not give his team the lead.
And that one's good. Korkmaz.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
Barton against Harris. Barton kicks to Morris. Just 4 to shoot. He lobs it up. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And entertaining as always. Bill, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just, I don't want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I
They're
don't want
off
to see
the
that
schedule.
team. Let's do the other teams.
Okay. You know, Brent, it's a different kind of broadcast with Bill Simmons mic'd up. He lets it rip.
Well, the thing about Bill is he's not going to hold back. He has some great, strong opinions, and he backs it up with a lot of facts due to the fact that he knows the history of the game quite well.
And another miss by Denver.
Now, that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
No way he's going to pass that shot up. The D is way too far back and relaxed in getting out on him.
Pass to Daniel. Looking to end the run. He doesn't hit that one. And it's Philadelphia the other way.
Yeah, you saw the communication breakdowns defensively, just giving up way too many open looks.
Yeah, sometimes you can play good on-ball defense, but it's the help defense that makes you elite. And on that night, nobody rotating and not a lot of help.
Grant. Pass to Barton. From deep three-point range, they get the rebound. And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And even though, you're thinking maybe we don't need the replay in a situation like this, still plenty of time left in this game, and really it's about getting the call right.
And it looks like they got it right this time. No basket. The clock had expired while the ball was still in his hands.
Yeah, and even if they don't show it, I know the refs are proud of themselves after a replay proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along. So good call, fellas.
And so it's Philadelphia bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
I think we played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Taking a look at Philadelphia. And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the home team.
You know what, Ernie? I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
How about you, Kenny? What did you think about the visiting team?
They ran into a buzzsaw, and it was on full blast. And once they fell behind, the crowd got into it, and it seemed that they lost a lot of confidence. They started pressing, forcing things, and it made it work. So in the second half, relax, man. Just remember, there's 2 more quarters. It's a fresh start.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Go over there.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. You look at Jokic in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
Brandon, this next question culture we're in, what comments do you want to hear from players who have just lost a game and facing disappointment?
I like the humility aspect of this question, Kevin, and the thing that I listen to most from players who get it, they'll compliment their opponent first. Something had to happen where the opponent did something enough to beat you on that night. So you don't say that we did all these things. Give the opponent credit first. Secondly, players who shoulder a massive amount of responsibility, they'll say that they could have played better first. And that takes and deflects everything away from their teammates. And then they'll talk about what they're looking forward to most. And their challenge is, we'll get better tomorrow. We'll get better next game. And that they know there's room to grow. Those three things are pretty impactful.
Well said. Embiid is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Richardson in at the 2. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. First one falls for him.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
Murray, the pass to Millsap, and it's slammed in by Millsap.
Well, at 6'8", Millsap is still a threat to get up in the air and get those down.
And Philadelphia has possession. It's a 5-point game. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
He just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players, Kevin, playing today can do.
Murray. Millsap misses. Philadelphia leading by 7. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. To the left side wing. Scott against Millsap. Jokic inside. Porter outside. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. And now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. That will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do in the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. That one falls.
And when Simmons is inside, forget about it. He uses his skill and smarts to take advantage.
Murray against Simmons. Porter passes to Millsap.
And how about the transition from Paul Millsap, going away from that star role to being more of a role player here in his later years? No longer needed to carry the torch, if you will, in terms of scoring and rebounding, but he can still give you just a bit of everything else at this stage.
That free throw good for Millsap.
Yeah, Paul Millsap has been underrated for most of his career. A consistent double-double threat, and has performed at an all-star weekend.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Mike Scott. Shake Milton comes in for Tobias Harris. And Alec Burks subbed in for Richardson. There's the triple. And it's Denver with the rebound. Jokic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And with Millsap, you can just see him contribute in so many ways.
I mean, a great passer for his position, and also very unselfish with his offense. Still a plus defender with how often he is giving up size on the inside.
Hey, yo, get on Nico.
He dishes it to Murray. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
That's not a bad heads-up play there for Murray, easily going into the contact and earning the whistle.
And while Murray is known, Brent, for his outside shooting, he's very strong with his in-between game as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options offensively and getting more and more in contact with Jokic on those high screen and rolls. Devastating, Kevin, when he gets to that left hand, gets around the free throw line and shoots that high floater. There are nights where he does tons of damage with that.
Here's Milton. Another miss by Philadelphia.
Well, he wants that one over again. I guarantee that. Nobody's even in the neighborhood.
And the foul on Alec Burks. That is his first foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Here's Jokic. He's got 15. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And Simmons gets it to go on the assist by Burks. Simmons got 6 in the quarter.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Murray, the pass to Jokic. Shoots over Embiid. The offensive rebound. Tries again. That's good. The Philadelphia lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket for Millsap.
Just competing right now. Millsap wanting to make the most out of that possession.
Simmons inside. Millsap's there. A shot by Milton, no good. And it's Millsap with the ball for Denver to start a 3-game homestand with that game. Murray surveying the D. Down low. Here's Millsap. That's tipped. We've got 1:23 left to play here in the third. A shot by Milton, no good.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
GA drafted after only playing 3 games at the University of Missouri. A lot of people probably hadn't seen Michael Porter Jr. play basketball. But with that in mind, describe his game for us now.
Kevin, at 6'10", he's a fluid athlete with tremendous shot-making ability. He grew up one of 7 kids, homeschooled. They all played ball. He's had a basketball in his hands from a very young age, and you can see it in his approach.
Denver making a switch. Plumlee, he's checked in for Jokic. Grant comes in for Paul Millsap. Daniels, he's checked in for Harris. And Monte Morris subbed in for Murray.
And with off-the-charts awareness, Simmons makes plays that others simply don't see.
Now, here is Morris. Pass to Plumlee. The pass to Porter. He kicks it to Daniels. 5 on the clock. Here's Grant. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. Grant's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, he's such an athletic forward. Absorbing contact is something that he's learning to do, getting much better at it.
Here's Korkmaz. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Philadelphia shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Second team foul.
The first free throw is good. Tobias Harris is checked in for Alec Burks.
Taking 2 shots.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Morris kicks to Grant. And the dunk by Grant.
Trust me, defense wants to keep Grant out of the paint, and he wants to get in there. That's why.
There's 21 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Simmons. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Outside, Porter. Here's Plumlee. And he lays it straight in.
That's what most want to see from Plumlee. Attack mode, pound the boards, have the confidence to finish off those kind of plays.
And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for Philadelphia. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be back with you shortly. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, Nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. So on the floor for Denver, Grant is out there with Will Barton. Then it's Plumlee. Then there's Monte Morris. And it's Daniels in at the shooting guard position. Harris against Grant, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and well, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Mike Scott's checked in for Furkan Korkmaz, and Josh Richardson subbed in for Ben Simmons. Morris kicks to Daniels. To the inside, Grant, and Embiid with the block. And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Philadelphia leading by 8. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Denver trails by 8. Pass to Plumlee. Here's Grant. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And you see Jeremy Grant on this team, he means so much more than just his stats.
He's a fantastic glue guy, and his teammates talk about how unselfish he is on the floor. Great team player and an even better chemistry guy off the court.
The free throw drops for Grant.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Both good from the line that time.
And Jeremy Grant just has such a great combination of athleticism and explosiveness. It's up to him to find familiar spots on the floor and do a good job of playing off his teammates to make an impact on every game that he plays.
Thibault, the pass to Richardson. Here's Embiid. Kicks it to Harris. Shoots over Grant. Harris, good. Harris has got 4 this quarter.
Banging around, trying to move guys around defensively. Tobias Harris showing he's got a little bit working tonight.
Morris against Richardson from downtown. That's good. The Philadelphia lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Morris.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
Fans, the bottom section gets free t-shirts. Let's see who's the loudest.
Torrey Craig, he's checked in for Troy Daniels. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Brett Brown talking with his team. He said, this is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play. In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
Trying to keep up with Plumlee as a big in the open floor, something tough to do. Got the separation he needed.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Passes it to Embiid. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee. And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
And Plumlee kicks to Morris. Denver passing it around. 4 on the shot clock. The 10-footer. No good from Grant. Philadelphia leading by 5. Here's Richardson, and the shot goes in.
Well, the D can't give Richardson that kind of lane to the basket. He will jump all over any available space.
Morris outside. Pass to Craig. Now Grant, guarded by Harris. Grant down low, and he converts the layup.
Wow, Jeremy Grant, the evolution will be televised. Phenomenal at staying cool and collected in that big moment.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
And as things present themselves throughout a game, teams have to adapt on the fly.
And timeouts are a wonderful opportunity to just settle in and recollect the thoughts of your entire team. Not just the guys playing, but the entire team, Greg.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Ben Simmons.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Embiid dishes to Simmons. And there's the pass to Scott. For 3, Harris. And it's Denver with the rebound. Barton passes to Jokic. And Jokic throws it down.
Well, Jokic needed it, and he got it.
Will Barton.
1:58 left in the fourth quarter. Simmons looking around. Pass to Embiid. Back to Simmons. Here's the floater. Good defense by Jokic.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
And the foul on Josh Richardson. That's his first foul. Murray outside. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
There's a lot of potential left in the tank for Jamal Murray. He's able to play both guard spots, but it's that sweet jump shot that has his teammates and the coaching staff salivating about where his ceiling is.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt you. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
Simmons against Murray. Feeds to Embiid. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got assist number 5 here tonight.
That's a defensive breakdown. You can't let him get that deep.
Yeah, how do you let him get a lounge chair down there and be comfortable in the paint like that?
And another miss by Denver.
You know, the ill-advised threes isn't how you want to close the gap. They've got to have better shot selection.
For Denver, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Barton finds Millsap. That shot, no good. Some solid defense from Harris. And stolen by Murray. And they're running. Millsap has the open look. It counts. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Remember that one. Guys, a difference maker.
I'm wondering, Greg, is that the biggest shot of the game? Jokic stepping up big time here.
And Philadelphia calls time here. They trail by 1. 24 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. players checked in for Denver. Denver calls timeout. They lead by 1. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance team.
Simmons against Porter. Outside, Simmons. Jokic against Embiid. Can't cash in. The dish now to Scott. Outside, Simmons. Oh, missed it. And so it's Denver who comes out on top here. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Mason, your game has expanded some, and what has that process been like?
You know, you just learn something new every game. You have to study your opponent and see what's going to be open, but some of the constants have to be rebounding, defense, bringing energy, and that's always going to get you a little bit.
Well, you had the whole package tonight, Mason. Thanks. Kevin, back to you.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time.
I gotta touch the sky.